Now on to Singapore. In 2018, the Select Committee on Deliberate Online Falsehood submitted a proposal that recommended a holistic approach to tackling the problem of online falsehoods. Legislation was one of the four main prongs of strategies recommended. POFMA was passed in 2019, and it has been used on numerous occasions in the past year. So POFMA was invoked in several instances during COVID-19. For example, against a forum post in Hardware Zone that said a person has died from the virus when there wasn't such a case. And misinformation from foreign and local sources fueled people's confusion and concerns over whether the government's response was adequate. In instances where POFMA was used during COVID-19, the correction orders were issued very rapidly. However, outside COVID-19, the applications of POFMA had different outcomes. Before COVID-19 happened, several correction orders were issued to political parties for purported falsehoods. There was often a time lapse between the publication of the post and the issuance of correction order. That could have compromised the ability of POFMA in curbing the spread of falsehoods. There was also public backlash and questioning of the government's intent, to which it had to explain and give assurance for. During the recent general election, correction orders were issued to a few parties for claims made on the government's plan for growing the Singapore population. Aside from POFMA, the past year also saw some key developments in other countermeasures against falsehood. The government launched the Digital Media and Information Literacy Framework in 2019. In the past few years, different government agencies have targeted different segments of the society in terms of their media education. The new framework brings together different areas of focus and provides content guidelines for program developers. To date, most of the fact-checking and debunking work has been done by the government. The government runs a Factually website which debunks false information relating to different policy issues. Outside the government, there is a scarcity of fact-checkers. In the private sector, market and social research agency Black Dog Communications verifies claims made from any source. Media organizations in Singapore have yet to take up a formal role in fact-checking, and their efforts tend to be ad hoc. Some foray into fact-checking within universities have been made, but their attraction and sustainability remains to be seen. There is also a lack of citizen fact-checking. Factcheck.sg is a Singapore page that has been criticized for its lack of transparency. However, during COVID-19, there were commendable citizen efforts. Some individuals took the initiative and debunked false information through videos produced in vernacular languages and comics. But on the whole, there is an absence of sustained ground-up effort. In summary, a legislation like POFMA has limited efficacy in closed group communication platforms such as IM apps. While the government leverages POFMA to prevent slow drip erosion of people's trust in the effectiveness of public institutions, there is a risk of POFMA in chipping away people's trust in the government over time due to their disagreement with its application. Increasingly, there is a need for media literacy to go beyond the what, by which I mean delivering content, to the how. People need to be equipped with the knowledge and soft skills on how to play an active role in debunking false information in their social circles. We continue to hear anecdotes of people wanting to take action, but not knowing how. Also, fact-checking remains key, given how false information producers are constantly evolving their tactics. But for fact-checking efforts to be sustainable in a small marketplace like Singapore, cross-sector partnerships might be a viable model. To conclude, while fighting false information is concerned with the clear and present danger, we should not lose sight of the end game and the ultimate goal, which is to build a resilient society where people trust institutions and one another.